All right, guys, we had some fun up till this point. I'm enjoying every minute of it. We're checking out lights. We're actually seeing what they can do. Each modifier, every situation that we could put ourselves in. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna play. We're just gonna figure out what we can do to mess around with these lights using all the things that we just learned and incorporating them all into single shots. So we've also, just for ease and simplicity and to show each light and what it was doing, we've kept the model faces straight at the camera. Well, now we're gonna start to play with their angles and watch what the light does as we move angles of the face, so you'll see that too. For these next few shots, we're gonna use all the tools at our disposal. We're really going for it. We're doing makeup changes, we're doing hair changes, we're doing a little bit of a wardrobe change. I'm gonna work with the models on direction, which I haven't been doing the entire time because we've been shooting for so many days straight, and now I'm gonna really pinpoint what it is I want their face to say to the camera. So in the beginning, we were just using basically a genre of light. So we were doing hard light and only using hard light. We were using soft boxes and only using soft boxes. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're gonna mix it however we like. Whatever we think it needs, we're gonna give it. So we might do hard light mixed with soft light, mixed with a Kino, mixed with whatever. Whatever we feel like doing, we're gonna do, mixed with reflectors, and we're gonna show you all of that as we go. I've got this linen backdrop and I keep it on this side of my studio and I like it. It's got a nice little tone to it, so I shoot on it a lot, and I just flip my lights around and point that way so I don't have to move it. And I had this, I styled out Kahari a little bit. I just thought that this sweater went really nice with his skin tone. It's a Zadig and Voltaire sweater, so it's a hot, you know, brand right now, and it looks cool and it looks good on him, and he's got this amazing look going. So we're gonna build out a shot here, and we're gonna use we've got some hard light. I've got hard light on him. I'm going to position a bare head on him actually for the D1. And then we're going to work from there and see what we can do with it and play with it a little bit. But I'm going to keep it real simple and we'll just see where it goes. All right, so I like where he is. I'm watching the shadow behind his head, and I think I want the key light a little higher because I want that shadow to go down a touch. So I'm just going to move this a little bit. I'm going to maybe go a touch behind him with it and a touch higher. Move that shadow down on the background. So something in there. So it's there, but it's not like, you know, really bugging me too much. And let's just take a shot of that. All that. There you go, good. I mean, I wouldn't mind the smile. So we'll just do a shot and just see how this looks. Oh, I like that. Now I really hid the shadow behind him. He helped hide the shadow with the sweater. So I really like that shot a lot. I think I can go a touch darker on it. Let's just try that. I just want that background to get a little bit more saturated and maybe his skin as well. Good, I like that. Keep your chin up in there for me. There you go, good. Hold that. That's it. He can keep, with him, I like him fiddling with the sweater a little bit and trying stuff out. Hold that. Tilt the head a little bit this way. There you go, go eyes back to me. Perfect. That's it right there. Hold that. Bring the forehead forward a little bit. Good, that's it, really nice. See, he's great, and I like the little smirks. I'll take the smiles if you let them rip. Hold that. Good, that's it. So guys, so this looks great. I like what's going on here. The shots are cool. Kahari's working the camera, but this is so simple. It's one light, bare head, pointed at a wall, at a linen background, and he's just working the camera. So let's start to add some elements to try and make this shot a little more interesting. What I did was I cut out a piece of cardboard and made some slats in it. So I'm gonna blast some light through here and see what this does for the shot. I wanna give some, I'm just gonna add shadows to the background a little bit. So I've gone to an extreme measures to make a really high quality piece of material here that can create an amazing shot. We're gonna start selling these on eBay if you need one. So I was trying to get the slats to separate more, so I stuck a marker in there. We'll see how it looks. If the slats come too far together, I'll stick a marker in there and see what it does. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring it in, put it over Kahari. Now we're gonna have to change, we're creating shadows, so we're gonna have to change the exposure, obviously. So guys, as I move it closer to him, the slats are gonna get harder and more defined, as you can see. And if I move it back, they're gonna get wider and softer. So we're gonna try a couple different ways, but let's go harder. I don't want to go too far because I'm just watching. I know where the bottom of my frame is right there, and I want to keep this in there. So let's go, let's bring it, let's go. I also want to make sure the camera, it's not moving into frame, but let's try it right here. Let's see, I want to look at my background, see if that works. I'm guessing that I'm going to need to open up on this sucker. So I'm going to open up a little bit because we're going to take down that light quite a bit. And we're going to try it right here. I like that. I think it's cool. I got to fill that upper corner though. That upper corner missing it is just bugging me. And I feel like the bottom one, so we can come back a little bit and maybe go up a little bit to fill that upper corner. Now, if you needed to do a full body on this or something, you need to make a bigger one of these. But this one's gonna work right here. And I can watch and I can see, I wanna keep some light on his eyeball. So I'm gonna move it between two of the slats and keep him on the angle that I had him on. And then we can go up a little bit more, maybe right, let's try this. There we go. There we go, nice work over there, big guy. Guys, if you do this kind of stuff on a regular basis, I'm sure you'll have really nice gobos that you can fiddle with. But we just cut this up and are playing here. So now it looks a lot more even to me. I'm gonna go up like that. I'm gonna try it here. That might work. Let's try this. This looks great. This is where I want them, I think. All right, guys, so I like where this is going. I like the way the gobo looks right now. There's a little weirdness on his face. It's still, I want the whole shot a little darker, so I'm just gonna stop down a little bit and just see how that looks. All right, I absolutely like where it's going, but I want to add another light to his face, and I'm thinking about just lighting his face, just opening up that shadow that's caused by the gobo. So I want to do something really tight. So I want to grid a light that's going to be tight, so let's try that. So I'm going to take the D1, and I'm going to take a hard light. I'm going to put a 5-degree grid on it, and I'm going to go for his face. But now what's happening is I'm getting another shadow on the background. If I look at the modeling light, it's not tight enough. I want a smaller diameter spread to that. And I'm at a 5-degree grid. So the only way I know to go smaller than that to really get it on his face is to snoot it. So instead of the 5-degree grid, I'm going to go with a snoot. And we'll throw the snoot on. And I'm going to focus the beam just so that it's really tight, but still it's not, that's not as tight as I wanted either. So we're going to do a little trick. We're going to try to double up. We're going to do a 5-degree grid on a snoot. Wow. Now we're talking, people. Now we got something going on here. Now, looking at the light, I'm tight. That's some tight light on his face. Now I'm barely getting any spread over there. So I'm gonna open up this area of his face, just right there, and we're gonna try a shot like that. And we'll keep it, we're just gonna try, is that gonna create, it's gonna create a shadow in the background. So I'm gonna raise this up so that the shadow on the background goes down. All right, let's try this. I like the way it's starting to look. I'm actually not gonna take my key light down. I'm gonna amp this up to 10. I'm gonna go up 2 stops on that because I wanna go a little darker on the background and get this light more involved. So I'm gonna go up to F22 and see. Oh yeah, now it's getting moodiness. Now it's getting to where I want it. Now I'm happy. Beautiful, Kari. Good. Do that look that you did before that we liked so much. No, the one from before. I got to get him to laugh a little bit. Good. Play with the, I don't like the way the collar looks right now. Play with it a little bit. Do something with it. Just, and don't touch it after you're done. Just fold it over on this side a little bit. And go nose a little bit this way. Hold that. That's it. Hold that. Get that jawline out. Give me some strong jawline. Good. Lift it back up all the way. Bring it up. And then just drop it. Hold it like that. Shake it out. There. Now go nose that way. Good. That's it. Chin down a little. Yep. Don't overdo it. Nope. Don't. You're getting ahead of yourself in there. So now I've got it where I want it. I actually really like what's going on in this shot. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I like that one a lot. I like what the snoot 5-degree grid action is doing. I like the gobo. I like the background. I think, hold that, nose this way a little bit. Hold that. Good. Hold that, scoot this way a little bit. You're getting a, hold that. I think I got the shot, guys. I'm happy with what's going on. I just want to make those slats a little blurrier. They're a little bit too sharp for me, actually. So let's just try something. Let's just bring them back a little bit. Go a little bigger on them. Bring it up a little bit, and let's try this. Let's see what that does. Hold that. And let's take a look here. I like it. It looks good on this. Good, that's it. Hold that right here. It's a little more subtle, right, guys? A little more subtle. Guys, I kind of like this. Now we're starting to fiddle and we're wrapping it up here, but I really like where this is going. Kari's working the camera, and this is like a catalog-y look, but it's a little different. It's got a little edge and something going on there to it. When I modeled, I was in this kind of shape too, guys, but now I can't help you. Okay, so we got Kahari here. He's all ripped to shreds, and I'm loving it, you know. So we want to shoot him in like a tough, dark kind of, we want to bring out enhance some of these muscles, make him look like a badass. So we're going to use hard light. We decided to do a side light hard on him, and we're going to do fill with the ring flash. I usually fill with like soft lights and stuff like that, but I want to try filling with, I want to shoot him with the hard light off to the side, fill with the ring flash. And we're gonna shoot onto my black matte pro board and use that as a backdrop, and we're gonna fiddle with it. It's got a chalky surface, so I can blast light on it and bring some nice highlights out of the background and give something to this picture. Our key light here is the Pro Photo Magnum reflector on the D1, and we're gonna just take a shot and we're gonna get an exposure and see where we're starting from. Okay, so we're gonna try a shot with just this one hard light. Wow. Cool, it's kind of ominous. You know, I've got a pretty hard light right next to him. Everything else in the studio is going black. We haven't lit anything else. And we got an interesting looking picture. But I got some spill. I wanna kind of control the light and keep it a little bit around his face. So I'm actually gonna grid it up and start from there. So let's throw a grid on. Sometimes it's kind of cool to be selective on what you light. So I'm trying this. I'm seeing where the grid is and what it does. And I'm liking where it is right now. I might have Kahari take a tiny step back. Let's see what this does with the grid. Grid's gonna need some light, so I'm gonna open up a touch just to allow some more light in there. Wow. All right, so it ate a lot of light, right? And it really took the light and went just like this. So now, I've got basically a face coming out of the shadows. So we're missing side of his face. We're not getting any of his chest area. We did the grid, so I'm gonna add a fill of ring flash to this. We're gonna go with the ring flash. And we're gonna add fill and see how it looks. Here he is, we're gonna fire it up. See, Kahari's a pro. I got him he was working that camera to the bone. And we just pumped a little bit of light in there. Guys, this is just a very subtle fill, but I like it. I like it dark. I want it dark, but I'm gonna keep building this light out. So I think he's falling into the background. If I'm not gonna add more fill, I wanna kind of separate him a touch from the background. So I'm gonna add a background light. Now I've got a D1 on the background. I put one of those 5-degree grids on it, and with the Pro board's like it got a chalky surface on it. So I'm gonna shoot it across it, so it's gonna be a little streak across the background. Let's try that. I just want to pop him off the background in a kind of cool way. Let's see if adding a little streak of light back there does anything for us. All right. Right there, hold that. Now I've got a streak of light going across there that's pretty cool, but I still want to pop them off the background more. I want to give them a little more, so I'm going to put another light on it on the background. I'll keep the streak, and I'm going to open up the background a little bit with another light. I just want to keep the streak, but pop them off the background a touch more. Let's see. Hold that. That's great. Keep that body position. I like the arms like that. Keep the body position like that. Now I'm starting to like it. Now I've added, it's ominous now. I'm creating this light. I just added a little more to the background. One thing that's drawing me, the brightest spot in this image, the brightest spot in the entire image is his ear. And I find that a little strange. So we're going to do a little flag, and we're going to flag off his ear. All right, so you remember in the flag section, we flagged off a ton of light. We're just flagging off a little tiny ear action here. We're just going to flag the ear a little bit just so it doesn't draw that attention. I'm still going to keep the light on the side of the face, and I'm going to toast the ear a little bit. I kind of like that. Just block that ear a touch so attention isn't drawn to it. Let's try this. Okay, we took the ear down. Now we got real dark. It actually killed the light a little bit. It's looking so badass right now. It's insane. We're really getting where I want it, but I need something more in the front. And the guy's got pecs like you wouldn't believe. So, guys, look, I'm gonna power up his chest, but I just want it to hit the chest. I don't want it to get too much uplight, so I got to put a grid on it. So I got the 10-degree grid here. Slap it on there, and I just watch with the modeling light where it's going to go. I'm going to put it in a nice place where it lights up the chest kind of in a nice way. And we're just going to get a little light up in here. Let's try it. Oh yeah, now we just opened up that chest a little bit. Now I'm going to pull it back a little bit so it's out of frame. And since I pulled it back, I'm just going to power it up a little bit. We know we lose a lot of light. I got it out of frame, but I powered it up just a touch. Let's try another shot. Good. Now we're building this out. The grid, I like the definition in the chest now. I still think this side of his face is, the shadow density is cool, he looks cool. You know what I want to do? I need to get a kick on that dark side. I need to start to bring a kicker into that dark side. So I'm going with my strip, and I'm bringing it in, and we're going to open up a little, we're going to give a little kick to that dark side. Why wouldn't we kick the dark side, right? Let's kick the dark side. Let's try it. We're going to kick out that dark side. Let's see. There's that little cut. Very nice. Maybe we can, I don't want to bring this too far into frame, but maybe just a little bit like that. Let's see if it's in the frame. Of course, we can make our retouchers work, right, guys? No, it's okay. It's just barely in the frame. Let's just see if we opened up that shadow. I just looking at the trap. I want to get his trap to pop a little bit. Okay, so guys, so I feel like it's a cool shot. I think it's great. I think the shadow density on the right-hand side of his face is really deep. I want to open it up a little bit. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm trying to pump in a little fill from our buddy the ring flash over here, okay? So I got fill, and I'm going to go up just a little bit just to see what fill does. Let's take a look at this. Guys, so I brought it in a little bit. It didn't do much at all, but it did even out the chest a little bit, and it did open this up. So I just kind of, I'd rather not bring that up too much. I'm going to go down. I went up 2 clicks on this. I'm going to go down 1 click. And I think I want to introduce a little bit of fill from this side just to open up his face, just a touch, and maybe his arm. So let's try this. I'm going to do it with a softbox. I don't want to do too much, but I want to try this. I'm really low power on the softbox, and I want to see if I can get some fill out of it. Let's try it. But I only want a little bit. I don't want much. I'm not looking for a heck of a lot of fill here. Okay, we got to bring it up a little bit. It's at 4, I'm going to 7. I'm going to 6. I'm going to 6. 2 stops. I brought it up 2 stops. Let's try it again. I don't want to bust the mood. It's bringing it up a little bit too much for me. It's bringing it up too much. I'm going to go 1 stop down, and I don't want to hit the body as much as I want to hit the face. So I'm going to bring it way up here. So I want to hit the face, and I want it to fall off on the body. So I'm going to go way up on it so that it's above the shoulder. So I'm only filling the face just a little bit. Give me the little squinch with the brow pressure. Hold that. Nose a little bit this way. Hold that. All right, so guys, so I'm loving what's going on here. So guys, something that we haven't talked about, you know who my buddy is, my buddy Phil. I use Phil every day. I love him. I go crazy. But we're using the ring flash as fill, and we're filling everything that you see that straight out of the camera that the ring flash hits, right? We haven't talked about using 2 fills and bringing in fill in different areas and only hitting certain parts of the body. I brought the softbox in, brought it up, and I just wanted to fill this side of the face and have the fall off hit the body because I didn't want to break the mood on this side from what this grid is doing over here. So it's important to know you can fill in different ways. So we're using the ring flash in a kind of peculiar way, I would say. But you can see there's a ring flash, there's a tiny spot in his eye that's giving us the catch light that is the ring flash. So it's definitely something that's worthwhile to have the ability to use as a fill in any shot that you want to mess with it on. Okay, you could do whatever you want. Yeah, there you go, good. Try different angles of the face. There you go, good. Good, I'll take that. Good. That's it. There's a squinch. There you go. Do the hook in the head and stand up straight like this. Yeah, just keep your forehead out. Forehead out. You get the forehead out. There, like that. Hold that. Keep your chin up in there. Keep your chin up in there. No, I meant stay positive. I missed it. Turn the body hard to the side a little bit. The other side so you get the light. No, the other way. Like that, like that. And then look off over here. Hold that. Hold that. No, eyes back to me. Now we're going to do a little bit of a fashiony shot. We're going to mess around with Cersei against a wall. I like using walls. I have white walls in the studio. I like them because you can get sharp shadows on them. The models can lean into them and stuff like that. If you do a seamless, white paper, you can't really lean your weight into it. So I've got Cersei against the wall and she's leaning into it. So she's going to use that to, move her body around and get some interesting shots. All right, so we have a beauty dish up there, silver reflector pointed down at her. This is the way somebody might set up a shot. An average kind of looking shot with somebody against the wall. I'll take a shot of it. Hold that, Cersei, very nice. And I've got some shadows coming down on her face. I think I wanna mess with this. I wanna try and see if we can take this to a different place. So I'm gonna move the key light to her, and it's gonna be pretty unflattering. We're gonna take a shot with that. But I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. I got some ideas, some tricks up my sleeve. So we're gonna go in close to the wall. All right, so you notice how the shadows change. We're gonna just let her stand there. We're gonna take a shot just like this. Let's see what this does. Now I move the light closer, so I'm obviously gonna stop down a little bit just to see. Let's see what happens. It looks a little dark and moody, and if this was a guy, it might look cool, but on a woman, it's just like she's getting lost in shadows on her face. Look at the shadows under her eye sockets, there's shadows everywhere. There's all sorts of shadowing going on here. So instead of moving the light, I'm gonna keep the light where it is. We've talked about this before. I like the nose to go towards the key light. So I'm gonna ask Cersei to move her face towards that silver beauty dish. And we're gonna get her chin up. We're gonna go towards the light, nose towards the light this way. And we're gonna light her face by moving it. So guys, what I'm thinking is I like what's going on here. It's pretty cool. I might wanna light up a little bit more of the body, so I'm gonna bring the key light off the wall another 6 inches. And then Cersei doesn't have to look so far up and to the left as well. So we'll try this. Let's try this and see how it looks. All right, go nose towards that light. There you go. That's it. Beautiful. Now I move the light away so it went a little darker. So let me just take a shot with it, open up a little bit. Oh, I love it. I like that pull back. I like what's going on, but I feel like the shadow next to her and the shadows under here are really, really dark. All right, so guys, this to me is going a little bit of a fashiony direction. So we're getting a lot of shadows in the clothing, and we're getting dark shadows in the wall. We're getting dark shadows underneath the chin. And I'd like to bring in my buddy again, Phil, to help us out. So I use all sorts of modifiers to have Phil help me out. This modifier you haven't quite seen yet. It's a big one. We're using a big, major fill. What we have is the ProPhoto Pro Big 7-foot reflector. It is just essentially a 7-foot wide umbrella. So what I'm using it for is I want the fill to come directly from where I am. So I'm gonna actually get a modifier that's so big that I can stand in front of it and not block. It's big enough not to block me so that I get enough fill onto Cersei. So let's hook this thing up. Let's try it out. So there's different modifiers that you can put on the front of this light. There's a pole that comes out of it. You can put the light right here to get a harder source. In this case, we want it really soft. So there's an extension pole that goes from here to here. But just to make it easier on ourselves, we put the head on a stand, and we can vary the distance that the head is from the stand to soften the light and hit the whole reflector. So I want the light pretty far back so that you can see that it's actually spreading over the whole course of the umbrella. I'm gonna start with my fill low, and I'm gonna work it in. So I'm gonna have Cersei start to do her thing. Keep your chin up, keep your tilt this way a little bit. You can look up into the light. I like that. Look up into the light. So now I'm at 5.0 on this light, and it just added a touch of fill. Now, I like where it's going, but I'm gonna try going to 6.0 and see if that opens it up a little bit. I don't wanna go too much, but I wanna see, and I wanna get it kind of like where I like it, and then start to have Cersei do a bunch of things to see if we can get the shot that we really like. Good, look up in the light. Good, back to me. Beautiful. Okay. Even at 6.0, it's a really subtle little fill. It's kind of nice. Okay. Cersei, start to do your thing. Do little moves, I want to find a pose that we really like. Turn your body, lean against the wall, change your legs, do all that stuff. Change your hips, move your hips against the wall a little bit so you're not, yeah, like that, that's it. Chin, there you go, good. I love that, love that. Do your hair thing like this. Like that, yeah. That's it, and push, do this. Here's a trick. Do this, push against the wall, push your head against the wall, and so the hair stays up there. That's it, and bring the hair in front. There, like that, beautiful. Hold that, that's it. Nose this way, eyes up a little bit, eyes here. Hold that, eyes here, like here, yeah. Beautiful. So I like the hair in the face. I want it to fly a little bit. I like when Cersei does this, but I want the ends of it to fly. So we're gonna use a foam core board and wave it in front of her and get the hair moving around a little bit for this. Dude, you gotta go ballistic. Yeah, like that, like that. Go ballistic. Stop fooling around. That's cool. There, like that, like that, like that, like that. Good. Chin down just a little bit. Good, that's it. Tilt your head back against the wall a little bit more. No, just your head this way. Like that, like that, like that, like that. Like that. Tilt this way. All right, guys, so I think I got the shot. Cersei's doing great. We're having fun. We got Nick in here waving this thing like a maniac. And I'm just gonna go with a little bit more fill just to see if we like it. I'm gonna beef fill up. Good, over here more. What are you doing over here? There we go, 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 there we go. Good, Cersei, that's beautiful. Like it. We can work with this. Get that one hair off your face. Good, hold that. So now my fill is so bright that we're really cutting down on all the shadows from the beauty dish to give this a little different look. So as we've seen in this particular shot, we put the key light in a place that wasn't very flattering. The shadows looked weird, Cersei didn't look that great. But if you combine it with fill and get that ratio right, you can get something really nice out of a shot like that. Pretty cool. Guys, I got Kahari on a simple gray background with one light. We're gonna do a simple catalog type style shoot. We've been doing cookies and gobos and hard light and grids and all this other stuff. And what I really do is on a daily basis is I shoot simple soft light. So we're just gonna do a simple soft light setup and see if we can get some good shots and give you an idea of how I would tweak a simple setup like that. So Kahari, just look right in here and let's just see. We put him in a suit, he's all dapper. I've got a softbox off to the left, and I've got an Oliphant background, which has a lot of texture in it. And I just feel like, one, I don't like there's a shadow from the softbox going out to the side. So I want to bring them off that background so that shadow doesn't hit the background. So come and step forward. And then I'm going to bring the soft light, the softbox out. And again, the softbox is pointed straight at him at ear level. Right now, I side light perpendicular to him. I like this light. I usually have my lights like this. This is usually where I stay. Now, let's take a shot with him a little bit further forward. Now see, I brought the softbox off the background a little bit. It went a little bit darker, which I wanted to do that. Let's try that, that's perfect. Bring that chin out. There you go, good. Yep, tighten up that chin. So I brought him off. I got the shadow to go away a little bit. But I still feel like maybe I don't want that deep of a shadow on him, and maybe I want to pop him off that background a little bit more too. Maybe I want the background to go slightly darker gray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a grid on this light, and it's not going to throw as much light at the background, and we're going to see the background go just maybe 10% darker. So let's see. We've got a softbox here, no grid, and we've got a gridded softbox. So I'm going to throw the grid on. Get a little bit closer to the light for me. Hold that right there. So you can see what the grid's done. So it's eaten up a little bit of light on the subject. So I'm going to open up it for Kahari a little bit, but it's really hammered that background. Let's just see here. So we took a lot of light off the background, and we went it went a lot more than 10% darker. There we go. Now I'm liking the way that looks. It's a little bit moodier, but there's a little bit of shadow off to that side. So I'm actually going to give the grid a little bit more on the back, and let's try this. I'm just going to open up that left-hand side of the frame. Now, Kahari's guy knows how to model. Nose towards the key light is the key for most of this, because if he looks straight at me, he's going to half light his face. Look straight at me. Still going to be nice, but a lot of times I'll light the subject so the nose is going towards the key light. Here he is looking towards the camera, and it's looking a little Rembrandt. He's got the shadowing on the face, the little nose shadow, and the little triangle here on the cheek. Now, Kahari, look this way a little bit. Hold that right there. Good. Now we're gonna get full shadow on the side of his face. So we've got full shadow all the way down that side of his face. Now, let's say this is the one thing that's bugging me is the shirt's wrinkling up a little bit. Can you open up that chest a little bit? That's it. Close it now. Yeah, it's really doing it. That's better. Keep your chest wide. Pigeon chest it. There you go. Chisel chest it. Do some sort of chest maneuver that opens that shirt up. Look at the difference. So this is another modeling move. He just broadened his chest, and you can see that it opened up the shirt quite a lot. Very nice shot, Kahari. I like that. It also opened up the jacket, so if you didn't like that, you'd have to figure that out, but I don't mind it. Just keep your chest open. and I'm bringing the jacket in while the chest is open. Guys, most of the time I set up my lights to favor people's left-hand side of their face, which would be this side. On Kahari, it's his left-hand side, because 80% of people, their good side is their left side. There was a study done, I didn't believe it, I tested it, and it's true. So most people, their left side is going to be their better side. Now, some people are ambifacial, so you can shoot them on their right or their left. You have both choices. Your job as a photographer is to figure that out. For Kahari, the entire time, I've known this guy's face for years. I photographed him when I first picked up a camera, and I shot the right side of his face predominantly. I know I like both sides, but in this particular shot, I'm favoring the left side of his face, which is open to the light, and I'm making his nose go towards his right, so I photograph more of his left side of his face. So go to nose to the right, absolutely. Hold that right there. Eyes back to me. Good, that's it, very nice. We're getting a very deep shadow with this. I want to introduce a V-flat just to open up that shadow. See that? I really like that side of his face, so I'm varying that light like that on purpose. I'm going to bring in a fill card, which is going to be the V-flat. So guys, we haven't talked about V-flats. I've mentioned V-flats throughout this, but I just want to talk about V-flats for a while. Because when I became a photographer, I was like, what the heck is it? I worked in a studio, and somebody said, get the V-flats, and I was like, what the heck is a V-flat? So a V-flat is simply two foam core boards, black on one side, white on another, taped in the middle, and sometimes I tape the edges, and I use the black side to toast light or suck to create shadows, and I use the white side for fill. And I use it to block light most of the time. I'll stick it between my strobes and my subject. Since they go into an L, they hold up really nicely, and every studio that I know has them. So if you want to go out to your local art supply store, get a couple of foam core boards, black on one side, white on another, tape them together, you'll be good. I'm working on a travel version with some of my Hurley Pro products that you'll be seeing soon. So it's going to stand like that. Now, depending on how much fill I want, is how close this board's going to be to him. Since I really want to limit it and just get a little, I've got to make sure that the grid is hitting it. If the light out of the grid's not hitting it, hitting the fill, it's not going to film the way I need. So I just want to make sure that this gets hit with light. So I might actually turn this a little bit to make sure that this is ahead. I want to make sure it hits the background and it still hits the V-flat. So let's try this and see if that gives them a little fill. It might be a better option. Hold that here. I'll have more control. Hold that. Let's see how that looks. Good. And then nose back to me just a smidge. Hold that. Yeah, we'll do straight in. Good. So in this case, because of the grid, I'm not going to get direct bounce back filled. I got a little bit there. You see how the black isn't quite as black on the cheek? I got a little bit of fill. I got a little bit there too, but it's real subtle, which is kind of nice. But that's mostly because the grid is on the softbox. So if I really want to have more control over that, because I don't want to turn the grid too much because I'm starting to lose the background back there. So I want to put the grid back where it is. And if I do that, now, this is the part of the board that's light in his face, and if I stand there, I barely see any light hitting it. So that creates a situation for me. This is a situation where I either have to decide whether I'm going to turn the light box, take the grid off, or what I'm going to do. So it's a better situation to just take the same source of light, a softbox, and put it right here. So instead of the card, I'm just going to throw up another softbox. And with these D1s, we have major control over what we can do in terms of fill. And I'm going to throw this softbox that I had sitting here. All right, because this softbox is so big, it's going to act exactly like the soft fill that the card created, but I have more control, obviously. So this one's set to level 10, which is as high as it goes. What this one we're going to do is we're going to start bumping it up till I get rid of those shadows. I'm going to start out at 4, and I'm going to watch what those shadows do. Take a tiny step back. There you go, right there. I'm just watching where that light is. So, and a tiny step back, tiny step that way. Yeah, maybe right there. Try that. So I'm going to start off at 5. I don't think 4 is going to do much for me. I'm going to start off at 5, and we're going to see what that does. Okay, hold that. Look here. At 5, we're not getting much fill at all. It's very subtle, like it just barely fills in there. You barely see it. So let's go. We know we got to move on this. So we're going to go 6, 7. Hold that. So I'm looking at the image, and although the background's kind of cool, I think it's too sharp. I just think that look, I want it to go a little bit out of focus. So I want to try and open up my aperture. So I'm going to bring the lights down 3 stops, and I'm going to try and open up my aperture 3 stops. What we're going to do is, let's go down 3 on this, and let's go down 3 on this, and let's see where we're at. Tiny step this way. Hold it right there. That's perfect. Good. Okay, we got a simple, guys, this is a really simple setup. This is what you see in a lot of catalogs and stuff like that. We've got the key light with the grid on it. We pulled them off the background just to soften it a touch and darken it a touch. And Kari, look here a minute. I just want to see something. I put the fill in, which I think for me, it's a little bit too much. I want to get that fill down, but I like where that's gone. But I still think the fill's a little bit too much. So I all the way at 4.0 on that light. So what am I going to do? Inverse square law, I'm going to move it back a little bit. So I get a little bit less fill. And see how much that brings it down. I just really wanted to just open up the skin tones just a little bit here, not much. So there it is. So now I've got my shadow where I want it, and I can start to work with Kari. So Kari, I want to make sure that you get your chin out a little bit. Good. Do your signature move, that one that we like so much. He's got one. I know he has one. He knows what he's doing. That's it. Good. So with a model like Kari that does this on a daily basis, you can let him run. He's a runner. You don't need to over-direct him, but you got to make sure when you look at the pictures, you're getting what you want. So if he's, not giving you something that you need, yeah, body that way, face the other, chin up slightly, maybe go nose a little bit this way. You're the director. You got to be able to direct these people. Nose this way a little bit. Good. Narrow the distance between your brows. There you go. Good. Tilt the top of your head a little bit this way. Nose back to me. Eyes back to me. Hold that. That's it. Nose back to me a little bit. Hold that. That's it. Bring that forehead out. Good. That's it. Very nice. Good. Do your little look over your shoulder type move with the smile thing that you do. There you go. Good. Hold that. So guys, this is the kind of stuff I do on a daily basis. Simple, 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 simple lighting. I need you guys to have in your toolbox a simple light setup that you can put up that a client can be impressed with and that works right off the bat. You really need a light for whatever genre that you're shooting. If we're doing a sports shot and we want to do hard light and do something like that, that's totally different. If you want to do a catalog shoot that's soft and it's got to show the clothes and what's going on, then that is something else. And that's what this is, something very, very simple and just get the job done. Okay guys, now we're messing around. Now we're gonna get serious. We're gonna mess with a beauty shot, give you some idea, and we're gonna build it from scratch. So essentially we're going with a white beauty dish here. We've got it on a boom to our acute head. Got the beauty dish just out of frame on an angle so that I can just I just have enough space between it and the top of her head that I can fit it in there. And we'll take a test shot and we'll show you. Right now, that's perfect, Cersei. High five, she's got it. Good job, we're working this. Okay, so extending the body. You want to extend the body with models so that they extend. You want to watch their sternocleidomastoids, which is this right here. Go your neck this way. See when this thing comes out and jets out of there? You just want to watch it. You can relax it. Now try and relax right here. That's it. Bring this shoulder forward. That'll relax that. That's an area that I always see that's straining when I'm shooting. So I'm watching stuff like that. This is beyond the lighting, but I wanted you to get a little hints of it during this part of the tutorial. So, Cersei, you're up. That's it. And I like her jawline. I really like the way it looks. So I'm going to keep her up and make sure there's strength and tension on the jawline so the forehead's out a little bit. That's it. Let's try that. And I love this. She's giving a very sensual look to the camera. I love it. Cersei, amazing. Beautiful. You got to give her positive reinforcement, make sure she's doing it right, but you can't just keep blowing smoke you know where. You got to give her some other stuff too. There you go, good. And good models will move every time you shoot to give you a little variety, and we'll be able to look beautiful. Really nice. Now, we're watching the light. We want to start to build this shot out. I love what I'm getting. You guys know I like beauty light, and I know that I want to lighten things up a little bit and start to get some more light on her and see if I can wrap some light around her face. So the first thing I'm going to do is, hold that, Cersei, good. Beautiful. First thing I'm going to build in, I'm going to give her, I'm going to bring in our fill. We're going to start with fill, and I decided to do a different fill than what we've done before. Instead of having Cersei hold a reflector or have a reflector here, I'm actually going to use a strobe. So I'm going to bring in a strobe, and I put it on a big, massive softbox. And I'm going to need the cord for this. I've got this under here. Now, watch the shadows under her chin and nose when I turn this on. We're going to start to fill, but I want real subtle, so I'm going to do it at the lowest power possible. And then I'm going to bring it up. Now I got it on. It's on 4. And the modeling light's on. So see, we already have, with the modeling light, we have a little fill. Let's try a shot here. It's at the lowest power. Good. Oh my gosh, go back and forth between that. I want you to watch. Look at the fill with the light. I really like that amount. I don't know that I would go further with that. I really like that. Now, if I go further, I'm going to start to fill her cheeks right here, which I really like what her cheeks are doing. But let's just try it for one shot. Let's just blast some fill. Let's just try it. Let's go up another stop and just see what that does. Okay, we went up another stop on the fill. Let's try it. Beautiful. I don't want to start to uplight her, and I don't want it to be too much. So let's see. We don't want to flatten her face out too much. Light creates depth, so we're creating depth. I actually like the amount of fill we're getting. Beautiful. Bring the forehead out, though. There you go. Good. A little bit more comfortable. Tilt it. Reset it. Do it your own way. Good. Beautiful. Just play with the expression. That's it. Good. And the bokeh. Cambio the bokeh. Cambio. Yeah. Look, I got Spanish in me, guys. Look. There you go. Good. Beautiful. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a little highlight in the sides of her cheek with a kicker light. So we're going to put those little strips behind her, and we're going to adjust them so we get a nice little highlight right in this area. And we're going to start low. We're going to start low power, and I'm going to even out the side. So we're going right here with one. We got our other kicker right here. We're starting low power, and we got them in. Now, the whole video we've been shooting with modeling lights. Now that we're fiddling around and we're shooting strobe, the live view camera is going to be a little different. It's not actually seeing what we're getting, so I want you to just be aware of that. We're going to strobe it, and we're going to look at the images in Lightroom. All right, and now we'll just see what that does. Let's see if we get a little kick on this, but we're at really low power on them so we can adjust it as we go. I got them at the lowest power. I can barely see them. There's barely any kick there. So now, what does that mean? I can juice it. I'm going to go up 2 stops on these. I'm going to go up 2 stops, and I'm going to see what that does. See if we can get a little bit of a soft kick in there. I went up 2 stops, might be too much, but we'll see. Let's see. Very good, Cersei. Very good. She's running with me, so I'm going to let her go. I don't need to over-direct her. Let her run. There we go. Wow. Love it. I love it. So it's going up, and it's subtle. It's just there. I could go down maybe a half stop, and I could pull it slightly out to the side on this side. I got a little bit more kick on that side. I could just pull this side slightly out, and I'm just going to go a half stop less. I just like seeing it, but I want it to be real subtle. I love this side, though, what that was doing. But I'm going to go a half stop less. Now, that might be too little, but we're creating a shot here. We're building it up from scratch. Beautiful, Cersei. There you go, chin up slightly, I like that. I like her jawline up, I do like it up. So now I got the kicker the way I want. It's subtle, it's in on both sides, I'm getting the wrap. It's gonna change when she changes her face angle. So I'll watch it, but I really like what it's doing. Yeah, so what I'm thinking, guys, here is I've got my kickers in, I've got my fill, my buddy, I've got my soft white beauty dish. I want to go for a little hair light. I just want to bring in a little bit of a highlight over the top of her hair. I like a little bit of activity up here. I'm just going to bring a really nice soft box hair light into the frame to see what we can get. So let's bring this sucker in. Now I'm going to watch the position on this. I'm going to guess that I probably want the hair light in at a similar power to the kickers. So let's just see. And I'm gonna bring it up out of frame, and I'm gonna knock it down a little bit. We're gonna just twist it a little bit. We're gonna just try here, and we're gonna try a shot, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're gonna try this. Let's try a shot with this. I'm on the same power as the kickers. Let's see if we get a little hair on that, a little bit light on that hair. Let's see what we can do. Cersei's going to work. Do you see she turned it on? I like that, but we're getting what? We're getting a shadow. All right, so we've got to move it, and it's a little bit heavy too, and I want to bring it more over her. I don't want it hitting the background, and I want it more on top of her head rather than hitting the back of the hair and creating that kind of look. So let's see. I'm going to bring it around like this, and I'm going to bring it in here like that. And then I'm gonna, if I was strong enough, I can do it. There we go. I'm gonna angle it down a little bit, then I'm gonna raise it. All right, guys, now I'm gonna bring it out of frame, and I'm gonna hope that that's about where I need it. I'm at 6, which I'm gonna keep it at, and I'm gonna try it there. That's the way I like it. Guys, it's real subtle. Real subtle, that's the way I work. I like it subtle. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I like what's going on here. I just wanna tighten up that shadow underneath the chin. So we're gonna bring the beauty dish back and angle it down a touch. And since we're bringing it back and angling it down a touch, we might have to beef up the power just a little bit to get the same effect. So we'll see. Okay, so let's try that. Let's see what that does for the shadow underneath the chin. So guys, we harden the shadow by moving the light down, but we're filling underneath so we don't get a really harsh black shadow. Guys, I really like what's going on here. I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you consider yourself a pro or you wanna be pro, it's all about subtlety. It matters how much light's coming out of this light, exactly. It matters exactly how much light's coming out of that light. It matters exactly what we're doing with these. You have to understand your light. Once you put light on a model, you own that light. I don't care that this says Pro Photo on it. It's my light. And I'm lighting her, so I'm deciding what's coming out of this thing. It's my decision. And if you just do it haphazardly, then you're not owning your light. I want you to own your light. And now that my light's getting owned here, and I'm getting what I want, and I'm digging into this shot, I can start to play with Cersei more and see what she can do and play around with angles. And we're gonna catch something that we're gonna be, whoa, 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 and we're gonna hit a sweet spot. And we're gonna go boom, 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 and we're gonna get some great stuff. So let's keep playing around. I'm really liking where this is going. Good. It's also beneficial to have a model that you know works well with you. We've been working together 3 days now? And you're comfortable? Yes. And you're getting great stuff? Like she's playing because she's comfortable. It has to be this rapport between you and your model. Beautiful shot, I like that. I can work with that. Watch your sternocleidomastoid. Hold that, there you go. And your occipital condyle, watch out for it. Go back up, lean that one in, and then relax that one so you're not, chin up a little bit. Good, that's it. Relax that shoulder, turn the body this way. Keep your chin up, relax the shoulder a little bit. There, right there, hold that, beautiful. Beautiful, very nice, okay. Good, that's it, a little smile with the mouth. Tiny smile, eyes back to the camera for a few. Good, that's it. Am I getting the cheek wrap on that? Tilt the head this way a little bit. Nose this way though. Hold that right there. Eyes here. Eyes at my hand. Hold that. Nose back to me. Close mouth. Change the mouth a little bit each time. I like when you do it yourself. Okay. Reset it. Okay. I like when you're playing yourself. You just do it. Oh, I like that though. See, I like the chin up. It varies the shadow. Guys, we got some amazing shots on Gray now. I'm really happy with what's going on. I think she's doing amazing. I like what we did with the light. Now we're just gonna throw what do we wanna do? We wanna make that white background go white. So we're just gonna throw some strobes on. We're gonna start low and we're gonna build up. I'm gonna position them at about shoulder height of the model. I'm gonna hit this one. We're gonna start at 4.0 on these. I'm gonna start at the lowest power because I'm building up from there. I'm gonna go even on them, make sure they're even on both sides. Don't point them at center, point them right off center. If you hit your lights here and here, the center is gonna be even. If you point them into the center, you'll still potentially get a hot spot. So I'm setting them up like here and here for the center of the lights. We'll see how that looks. Guys, I'm just gonna raise the kick up a half stop. You know how we like subtlety? We're gonna go a half stop on the kick. Hair light showing up. Beautiful. Let's just take a look and see how that kick was. We don't want to overpower it. It wants to be subtle, so we got to check it. Oh, I love it. Very nice. I want you to favor that side. Turn the body this way. Try this way. And then turn the shoulder, drop, relax. That's it. Just like that. Look here. Good. Nose towards me. Beautiful. Very straight with your hook. And the chin out. There you go, good. Tilt the head this way. The only thing that I would like to do is, if possible, Nick, get one on the other side.
Yeah.
Guys, so now I'm just gonna really soften her by bouncing light all around her even more with two foam core boards, just to take down a notch the shadowing that's around the nose. And the jawline. Just take it down another notch and soften everything up. All right, guys. So now she's in a box of white light. Let's watch this. Guys, so what I've done is I put two V-flats here with the white side reflecting in. So what it's gonna do is it's just gonna fill every single crevice and make the shot even softer than it already was. Beautiful. Guys, you see, so what it did was it just was an idea I had. I was like, we need to somehow flatten out the contrast of the shot just a touch. And it just went, and it just brought it all together. It's building light. You're building light as you go. Beautiful. Cersei, you're gorgeous. I love it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm blowing smoke, right? I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to give her something to do, but she's amazing. You got to let her run. She's got it. If she was doing stuff over and over again that was boring, I wouldn't let her run. But I got to let her run here. She's got it. My buddy Phil is like attacking Cersei here. We got Phil all over the place. Phil's over here. We got Phil here. We got Phil here. We're kicking. We're doing everything we could do. We basically have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 light setup here, and 2 cards, 2 V flats. 7 lights, 2 reflectors, lots of fill, and an awesome model that's making it work. So keep going, Cersei. Let's do a few more. Let's just keep playing. We'll keep going for angles. She's great, straight on. Bring that chin out a little bit. Relax your shoulders. Don't hunch. Don't bring your shoulders back like this. I'd rather have them forward. Do your hook. Hook the head, bring the chin out. Turn the body, you can turn the body a little straighter, yeah. Try that, try that. Relax the shoulders, like this. Slouch the shoulder, yeah, like that, but keep your hook. That's it, just like that. Forehead out, like that, but relax the shoulders forward. So when your forehead is out, you wanna go like this. No, you keep the shoulders like this, look at me, and then the forehead just comes out a little bit. Don't let them slouch the shoulders like that as you go. Beautiful. Did I get it? I like that. See it? That one's amazing. Guys, so if you've ever seen beauty shots in magazines, a lot of them are done in a similar fashion. All right? We really built this out so you can see everything. I want you to practice this on your own and understand build it one light at a time, just like you saw us do it. Guys, so I thought, since we had Cersei and Kari here, that we were shooting them and we were doing all these, you know, light on the face, that we would get them together and we do a shot where we light each of their faces a little bit separately to give you a little bit of a look. So we're gonna do something a little different here, but we're gonna use 2 lights and we're gonna light them separately and we're gonna see how it goes. I've been shooting the Canon 5D Mark III with the 100mm macro on it the entire time. I went to the 85 1.2 because I just wanted to get a little wider. I'm very close to my wall, so the 100 had me plastered up there. I moved it forward a little bit. I'm also on an Apple box because I've got Kahari up on an Apple box over there with his setup. So I wanted to get a little higher on this shot and that helped me do it. So we're going 85 1.2 lens, which I haven't used the entire time. I was using the 100mm macro, but I want to get a little bit more. I want to get both of them, so I need to go a little wider. And I like shooting landscape. Everybody knows that. So I'm going 85 1.2. So we've got 1 key light in there now. We've got a soft box with a grid on it, and we're going to shoot it, and we're going to build this out. We're going to end up with 2 key lights. I want to put a key light on Cersei and a key light on Kahari, but let's take a shot and just see what this looks like. So perfect, guys, just like that. So we've already talked to them about angles of faces. So I want Kahari looking off this way because this angle, we've already talked about his side. I like this side a lot. So now that shot's got a ton of shadow. I can't even see Cersei. Like she's black. Like there's very little light floating around the room. I can barely see her face. So we're gonna want her to bring her in. Also, we're letting the background just fall off to black. Do I care about the lights in the frame? I care more about the inverse square law and getting those lights close than I care whether they're in the frame or not. So we're gonna retouch them off later, no problem. So I like the exposure on Kahari's shoulder. His face is a little bit blown out, but I'm gonna keep it here and we're gonna build this up. We're gonna see where we're gonna go. Now I'm gonna bring a light in. So what we've got is I've got the key light hitting Kahari right now with the grid on it, but it's also giving a nice little highlight to Cersei's, the back of her hair. So if I introduce a light in front of her, I'm gonna light up her face. So we're gonna do that. I've got a Profoto D1 head with the silver beauty dish on it. So I'm gonna bring this in right here, turn it on, let's see. So the power on this is at 7. This sucker is at 4. So the one's at 7, one's at 4. And I'm just gonna bring it right in really tight to Cersei and I'm gonna light her face with it. And then we're gonna see how that goes. I've got it in frame, but I don't care, right? We're gonna leave it there and see what happens. Hold that guys, perfect, I can work with that. There we go. Now we've got a ton of light flowing around there. We not only lit Cersei, we also spilled some light onto Kahari's face in a big way. Follow my hand, tilt this way, but bring your chin out and then look eyes that way. There, over there. Look over there more. Yeah, like there, but nose up. I want you over here like this. Nose this way. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Nose this way. Chin up. That's it. Maybe right there. And then look like up a little bit higher. Try that. Beautiful, guys. Very nice. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Chin up. Tilt. There. Right there. A little bit less. Tilt it. Right there. Nose a little bit this way. Tilt this way. Follow my hand. Yeah. No. Tilt this way. Stay there. Eyes here. Hold that. That's nice. I like that. I can work with that. I just maybe want to get a sharper jawline on that. So as I move her head, I'm moving it according to the light. Remember, nose towards the key light, and I'm watching, watch the shadows on her. See the shadow difference? See, I'm putting that shadow there. Why? Because this is now, it might say Pro Photo on it, but it's my light. And in order for me to figure out where I want it, I've got to move her, right? That looks fantastic to me. Guys, this shot looks great. I'm really happy with it. It's like, you know, there's a lot of times I look over there and I go, shebang, but I don't, like, it's like I got more to shoot. This one, I'm just looking at it, I'm like, wow. What am I gonna roll with this next? So one thing that I wanna try just for, this might be the final shot, but I'm gonna throw in, I wanna throw in a little hair light, see if I can get a little rim light around them. Let's just play with it a little bit, okay? So watch this. I'm gonna bring this light in over here. I got my little strip here. I'm gonna fire it up. I'm gonna make sure it's above his head and the eye line in the camera. I wanna hit both of them a little bit with it. I might move it around, but let's take a shot. So, guys, like this one hair bugs me. That's like killing the shot for me. So I've been doing this all day with her. Tilt your head that way. Stay right there. That's it. I like that angle. That's beautiful. Hold that, guys. Let's see what happens here. Everybody settle down. That's it. Perfect. All right, we can work with that. I think, Cersei, your chin's up a little bit too high in that one. Okay, so I like what the hair light is doing. It's subtle. It opens up a little bit. I like what the hair light's doing. I'm gonna leave it in there. Okay, so now this is our final lighting. I like it. I like what's gonna go on. I'm gonna just keep playing with their positions and let them move around and get some stuff, and we're just gonna see what we can roll with. So start right, that's great. I told Kari to lean his shoulder in a little bit. That's it, right there, guys. Hold that. I need a little sharper jawline so yeah, like that. Relax it, eyes into the light. I'm abusing Cersei a little bit with the light. Wow, this looks great, guys. Now we're starting to roll. That's it. Don't go nose a little bit towards me, Cersei. Yeah, chin down a little bit. Down a little bit. Down a little bit. Right there, eyes. Eyes. Yeah, I like the eyes. Like look here. 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 Right there. Okay. Okay, I like to make my models look directly into the light and abuse their pupils. Guys, this is looking good. There's some pieciness to Cersei's hair, if you'll notice, that's coming through. So the gridded softbox is creating a shadow on her face that bugs me. You see that shadow for the hair? I want to watch that and make sure I hit your hair back on this side. Maybe I want to watch this piece. I don't like ear tucks. So we want to cover ears. Turn your shoulders into me, Kari. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Like that. Cersei, right there. Hold that. That's it, guys. Beautiful. That's it. Turn the body a little bit less. There, right there. Hold it. It doesn't matter. That means we got the shot. Cersei, tilt your head into it. Guys, so what we wanted to do is we wanted to get two people together. I think we accomplished this, and I really think it was really the most important thing about all of this was that we use the inverse square law. We got two lights on them, but we're really close with the lights, so the lights light them separately. If the lights were further away, we're not gonna get this same kind of effect. Guys, this takes a lot of practice to put into action, but you made it to the end, you've seen it all, you've learned it, you know what you're doing. Now I want you to go out and apply this to every shoot that you have. Figure out what you're doing. Really think about owning your light, putting it on the face, where you're putting it on the face, what you're doing with it. I learned so much this week because I have all these modifiers at my disposal that I never used to have. I had the same two models the entire time. I tested everything with you guys along watching, and it was amazing for me. I know I upped my game. I hope you did too. Guys, the one thing I learned out of anything, the most important thing over the course of the tutorial is it doesn't really matter. What matters the most is the size of the light source and how close it is to your subject. The modifiers, you can change modifiers and fiddle with the light, but size and distance to your subject, huge. There's a few things I want you to do now. Come on, you got this information, it's time to play. You don't need to go out and buy all this stuff. You need to look at what you've got, and now that you have an understanding of light, you need to work with what you've got right now and start to figure it out so that you have whatever modifier that is, whatever head that is, I don't care what it is, you have it nailed down. And then you can figure out, hey, I really like this piece of equipment, let me try that, and add slowly to your kit. It's not about the gear. It's not. It's about you and the way that you light. So what you need to do is you need to get into practice and apply it. You need to get a subject and you need to start fiddling around with them.